Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have the chance to work with you this semester as we go into our industrial drawing B12 introduction to drafting in CAD class. Look forward to working with you, and I know that summer classes tend to go rather quick. It'll be very important that by next week on Monday, we are at 100% and up and running. And for that purpose, I'm putting together a couple of short videos on how to do some of the things you need to be able to do so that even on our very first day, we can be productive. So today we're going to talk about Canvas. What is Canvas? How do you get to Canvas? And what does Canvas do? If you already have experience using the Canvas Learning Management System, that's great. But if you don't, you definitely want to sit down and try a few of these things out after you see me do them to make sure you have some comfort level working with the Canvas interface. The way to get to Canvas is just to go to any web browser, and really you're going to need Chrome. Google Chrome is what Canvas is best run on. So Google Chrome, I'm going to go to bakersfieldcollege.edu. I can't vouch for Firefox or Microsoft Edge or Safari or any other web browser, but I do know Chrome is going to work great. Just don't use Internet Explorer, please, whatever you do. Okay, if you still have Internet Explorer, that is not what we want to work with. Up here on the top of the screen, on the left-hand side, you're going to find the button that says Inside BC, and you'll give that a click. And what that does is it brings us into the sign-in page. The sign-in is going to be your normal Bakersfield College sign-in. So that's your email address. And it's the email address that you use to get your email, to register for classes. Everything you've done on the BC website up to this point, it's the same address to get into Inside BC. And then your password is the same password that you used to sign in to check your email or to register for classes or to get your transcript, right? So one-stop shopping, one password, one email address gets you into where you want to be. So what I'm looking at here now is the Inside BC, insidebc.kccd.edu page. And mine looks a little tiny bit different than yours. The main difference being mine says faculty courses. And if I click on the little down arrow, it will show me all the classes I'm teaching this summer and fall. Yours will say student courses, and it'll show you all the classes you have registered for. Now, if you're on the wait list, you will not see this or be able to get into this for our class. But if you are on the regular roll, you'll see Intro to Drafting in CAD, Summer 2020, and our CRN is 50590. So to get into Canvas, all we have to do is give a click right here on the name of the class, and that will open up the class shell for Canvas. And here we are. We are in Canvas. That wasn't too bad. Now, mine is set up right now for me with my login. And as an instructor, my Canvas page looks a little bit different than yours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up for what it should look like when you log in as a student. I'm going to use the student view. And we see things got a lot simpler. There's a lot less junk on the screen, and there's a lot fewer options over here on our navigation bar. So let's just talk about what we're seeing and how we can work with this stuff, okay? Top of the screen gives us the CRN and course name. We have some navigation links here on the left-hand side of the screen. If you don't see them, it's probably because this button is not activated. See, when that's turned off, you don't see the navigation links, but when it's turned on, you see them. So you probably want to have them available. But there are some other navigation tools out here along the left-hand side, and they're not really important right now. We'll talk about them in the future. The main thing we're looking at, though, is this material here in the center of the screen. It is the information I need you to see right now. And I will be changing this as the course progresses to whatever unit we happen to be working in so that it's always current. So right now, what is important? Well, you could call this week 0. It is the week before the semester starts. And I wanted you to know that there is some required class materials, right? So that's why we're seeing what we're seeing right now. And it talks about the class pack, it talks about some required drawing tools, and it gives us a link to how to get free AutoCAD download for you as an industrial drawing student. Now notice that some of the text on the screen is black or gray. That's just text. Notice that some of the text is blue. And if it's blue, that generally means it's a hyperlink. It means if you click on it, it'll bring you to something else, right? So we'll examine this a little bit more in a bit. I'm going to go to the next button on the navigation links to assignments. So when I click on assignments, right now it says there's no assignments. Nothing's been assigned. Nothing's due. Nothing has been assigned in the past. What will happen though is that during the progress of the class, you will see the assignments that I've already given you. You will see assignments that are current and things that are be due in the near future. So this is a nice way to track what we're doing in class and where you are as far as what has to be completed so that you don't fall behind. The third button down on the navigation bar is discussions. And in a lot of classes, they use discussions to discuss things. You can imagine if you took an English class and somebody was assigning you to read a piece of text and they want to talk about it. Well, you really can't do that on Canvas very well, especially for an asynchronous class. So what you would do is you would type, right? You could type a response to what you thought about that piece of literature, or you could have a discussion among several members of the class. And in our class, we really don't do that sort of thing typically, but we will use the discussion area maybe once in a while for giving you a chance to get some questions answered. Let's go down to our next button on the navigation tools, grades. Grades. So for our test student here, we have our grade is broken down into 3 different areas: CAD, drafting, and exams. Right now, no grades have been assigned. These are just the 3 main components of the class that make up your grade. As assignments get added to the queue, they will appear over here on your grade breakdown. Pages. Pages is the next button on the navigation tools. This is the front page, the current page. This is the one that we saw when we clicked on the Home tab, or when Canvas opens up for the class. If we click on the button up here, it says view all the pages. Well, this will show us everything I've made available right now. So we've got a page here, and a page here, and a page here, and a page here. And clicking on them, for example, clicking on the free AutoCAD download page, will bring us to some instructions on how to get that software downloaded and run on your computer for free. Right? And then if we want to go back to where we were, we can go back to the navigation tools and give a click on pages. And here we are back at that front page that I've designated. Clicking on all pages, again we can see some of those other pages. Required drawing tools. So here is a bit of information about some of the tools we'll be buying for the second half of the class, the hand drawing component of the class. And same deal, we'll look at that last page, week 1, unit 9, and giving that a click. I want you to pay attention to what you see here. It says this page is part of the module week 1 and hasn't been unlocked. So when you see this, it just means that the materials are not available for you yet. So the class hasn't started. I think it makes sense that I'm not going to open up the class early. Technically we start on the 15th. So on the 15th, that'll be a different story. We will have access to this material. And when you click on the home page next Monday, it won't take you to this information. It'll take you to the week 1 information. Okay. And our last button down here is the syllabus. If we click on the syllabus button link, well, it shows us the syllabus for the class. And of course, you're free to take a look at it here. I'll be emailing you a copy of the syllabus as a PDF. you want to print it out, you're welcome to. The syllabus is very helpful in answering some commonly asked questions. The syllabus gives us a basic outline. It also gives us the important dates for the class, and we will talk about the syllabus more on our first day of class on Monday. So the easiest way to navigate your way around Canvas once you are logged in is use the navigation buttons over here. And depending on the task at hand, we're probably going to go to the Home tab most of the time, see what we're working on, and then proceed in the order that we've been asked to work. Again, text that is black or text that is gray is just text. Text that is underlined in blue, you'll notice if you hover over it, a little pop-up shows up on the screen. Well, these are hyperlinks, and by clicking on them, you go to another web page. All right. On this page here, you see that there's some blue text underlined. Well, this takes you to the website for downloading the AutoCAD software. And here is a video on how to download and install that AutoCAD software. Okay, and you can hit the back button to go to your previous page if you prefer, or you can click on home and then bring yourself back to that home page. Okay, so if you haven't used Canvas before, it's not that tough. Don't be intimidated by it. It's pretty straightforward. I've tried to simplify the interface as much as I can so we don't need to see things that aren't important. And I will try to set things up in a way that makes it easy for you to access and get to where you need to be with a minimal number of clicks. Okay, so I would recommend take a look around through what we have available so far, so that on Monday, when you log in, you'll see the new home page for week 1, and we'll be able to start working.